Welcome to Stellar Life Podcast. Get inspired and live out loud. From love, freedom, and success to having it all. Here's your host, coach, speaker, and shining star, Orion.
Roger, you're looking good.
The year is 2021. Humanity, we the collective, are experiencing a global shift and major uncertainty. Many changes have already happened within the fabric of our society, in our governments, and there are many more to come. In times like these, you must stay more centered, more connected, more loving. Follow your intuition as your northern star. Take charge of your mindset regardless of external situations. This year, I'm going to be posting special episodes called Stellar Experiences. In these episodes, I and some of my favorite guests are going to take you through a variety of exercises and guided meditations that will give you a stronger experience of self, calmness, and inner joy. Please do not listen to these episodes while you are driving or working. Find a quiet place, relax, and give yourself the gift of self-discovery. Welcome to your stellar experience. Stephanie James has an unrelenting commitment to helping others ignite their best lives and to become the best versions of themselves. She is the host of the podcast The Spark with Stephanie James. Her book, The Spark, Igniting Your Best Life, is available on Amazon, and her film, When Sparks Ignite, is coming soon. With over 30 years in personal development and mental health field, Stephanie has a passion for connecting with people from all walks of life and continues to fulfill her personal mission to bring as much love and healing to the world as possible. In this stellar experience, Stephanie will share with you how to befriend yourself, how to trust yourself, and how to love yourself more, because living joyful is an inside job. And when you take care of you, you light up the world around you. Enjoy.
2, 1, 0.
Hi, this is Stephanie James, and I'm here today to talk to you about the art of befriending yourself and beyond. You know, we've heard forever, oh, just love yourself, be your own best friend. But I know from 30 years in the self-help and professional and personal development field that it's just not that easy. So when we befriend ourselves, it's not just flipping a switch. You know, if you were to meet someone new and begin to befriend them, you wouldn't trust them right away. It wouldn't be after a few conversations of showing up for one another, maybe to go have coffee or to take a walk, that you'd tell this person your deepest, darkest secrets, or that you'd just say to this person after a couple times of meeting, hey, would you start picking my kid up at preschool? It just doesn't work that way. So the same is true when we're cultivating a relationship with ourselves. So what that takes is building trust. Trusting yourself to show up for yourself over and over and over. We need the message from ourselves that, hey, I've got you. I've got your back. I'm here, and I'm here to take care of you. And so one of the ways that we can do that is honestly by starting a morning routine that we are committed to. You know, you can think about how many times have you promised yourself, okay, I'm going to do that exercise routine, I'm going to start this new diet, and then not follow through? For so many of us, that is the case. We let ourselves down and we don't show up for ourselves. Or we are so self-critical that we are definitely not being our own best friend. We're the ones that are cutting ourselves down or giving ourselves negative messaging. So it starts with having this commitment to yourself and then showing up in the morning. I love the morning routine of doing some mindfulness practice or meditation, and then exercising. And I like to do some journaling in the morning. I think one of the great ways that we can start the day is by asking ourselves these 3 journaling questions and then writing down the answers. And the questions are what I call the 3 C's to start in your day. Because right now we live in a time where the world can feel really out of control. There's lots of chaos. People watch the news and get very fearful, and we can be like, I don't have any control of what's going on, and things can feel pretty overwhelming. And the truth is that, we really don't have control over much. Control is really an illusion. We like predictability, and our brain loves predictability. That's why we're so good at routines. And that's why this is a really important routine. And it helps to literally, what I say, reel you back from worrying about the future or ruminating about the past. It reels you back into the present moment. And so you're asking yourself about this 24 hours, these 3 C questions, because usually we can manage and feel more in control of ourselves if we have a plan for 24 hours. So the first question that we ask is, the first C is care. How do I take care of myself today? And so what that might look like is you're writing down, okay, I'm going to do this morning routine where I'm meditating, I'm exercising, I'm taking care of myself. It may look like eating nutritious foods. It might be taking a walk, being in nature. At the end of the night, it might be a bubble bath if you're me, or it might be reading your favorite book or listening to something that inspires you or makes you laugh. These are all ways that you can take care of yourself. So the second question, the second C, is connection or connect. How do I connect today? So in this 24 hours, I think it's twofold. How do we connect with others? Whether it's through email, whether it's through a phone call, Zoom call, or if we can in person, that's the best. So the higher the level of the connection, we could say texting is the lowest level of connection, all the way up to being there in person, being the higher or highest level of connection. That's what we want. So really looking at where can I connect today? I also like to take it a step deeper to asking myself, how can I connect in a way that will make someone else's day? So I also think about, who is someone that, number one, needs me to show up as my best self today? And number two, who can I reach out to today that really might need that sense of connection? Just to drop a note and say, hey, thinking about you, reaching out and just saying, whenever you're free, let's schedule a call. Again, just throwing out those lines of connection. And then the other part of connection I like to write about is thinking of, how do I connect with myself today? And that goes truly back into fostering that friendship, learning how to befriend ourselves, and growing and cultivating a sense of love with ourselves. And so I'll be going over some exercises in just a little bit that have been really helpful for me, for my transformational life coach clients, my psychotherapy clients, and my friends. I teach everyone this technique of growing in love with ourselves. So the third C is, how can I be creative today? And being creative is being in flow. So it doesn't have to be that you are creating this great piece of art or a stunning piece of music. It can literally be, one of the ways I'm being creative today is I'm going to walk a different way with my dog than I usually walk. That's creating new neural pathways in our brain. It might also be something like, I'm going to come up with a song list of my 10 favorite songs on Spotify. And then I'm going to play that tonight while I'm making dinner, and I might break into a spontaneous dance party in the kitchen. That would be something that happens in my life. So there's all kinds of ways of being creative. We can do adult coloring books are fun. We forget how much fun that is just to play. We can be creative. We can do arts and crafts or paint. but it's just letting yourself move into a place of flow. And our bodies, minds, hearts, and souls just really need that. It's a beautiful sense of freedom. We get into that space of timelessness. And it really is, it's a beautiful gift to give yourself. So when you start doing these kind of things for yourself and you write them down each day, because they're not going to be the same each day. It's okay if some of them are, but most days things will be a little bit different of how you want to care for, connect with, and be creative in your day. So I did want to share with you one of the love exercises that I really do believe helps to grow self-love. And a lot of these things are going to be coming out in my new book. Look for that in the coming year from Grace Point Publishing. Really excited about that. It'll be at Barnes & Noble and Amazon. But one of the techniques in there is this art of cultivating love. And it can truly be as simple as putting one hand on your shoulder. So you cross, let's say, your left arm over your chest and you put your left hand on your right shoulder. And then you take your right arm and you wrap it around your waist. So you're holding yourself just like as if you were in a seatbelt. And when you feel your arms wrapped around you, it's just applying a little bit of pressure so that you feel like you're in a hug. So you truly are holding on to yourself. And this is an important part of just giving yourself some positive messaging where as you're holding yourself, you take some deep breaths into your heart, close your eyes, and give yourself the messages that your heart most needs to hear. Or maybe it's the wounded child inside of you that child still needs to hear. So the messages might be, I've got you. You're mine. I'm here to take care of you. And I love you. I see you. And just giving ourselves those messages and holding ourselves for a few moments a day truly starts to make the difference. We start hardwiring that touch to a sense of true and deep self-care and self-love. So it's a muscle that as we exercise it, it grows stronger. That sense of trusting ourselves grows stronger. And one of the things that I love to do is at the end of the day, instead of crisscrossing out the day on my calendar, I have one of those regular hang-up calendars. And at the end of the day, when I've taken care of myself like this and shown myself this kind of self-love, I put a heart on the day. So it's not like, oh, I'm crossing this day off. It's like, oh my God, this was a day I showed up for me. And so I love looking back over a calendar, and it might not have hearts on every single day, but the majority of the days it has a heart. And so it just feels so good seeing those hearts all looking back at me and being able to see how I truly am cultivating that self-love. So I want to encourage you to do the same. And I think there's really an important message here as well. And that is that we do need to take care of ourselves first. We've all heard the phrase, if you take care of yourself, that somehow you're being selfish. And I think it's really important to dispel this myth because it's not a selfish thing at all. It's actually one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself and then everyone around you is to do this self-care. So when we replenish ourselves, when we rejuvenate ourselves and renew ourselves, we're actually clearing ourselves as a conduit for greater love and healing to flow through us, to flow to us, and then back out into the world. It can become the gift that we share. So that's been one of my essential messages that I share with people is that your healing matters. It's one of the messages that when we're always, the old saying is when we're in airplanes, they always say, put on your own oxygen mask first, and then you can better assist others. And that's such a great metaphor for life because that's the truth. We can't operate on fumes. I know for myself that I was a much better mother because I exercised, I meditated, I had my own career. And so the time with my children was very, very quality time. And I think the same is true now with my partner, that we cultivate priority time. He's a busy chiropractor and I'm busy doing films and podcasts and books and my psychotherapy practice and my transformational coaching. And so it's also making that time that I'm doing self-care. So at the end of the day, after all those appointments and all those events, that I can really show up. And it's showing up for myself and showing up for him. So I cultivate love within me, and then I can cultivate love externally. And it just helps to enhance and fortify all of my relationships. So I encourage you and invite you to be this pebble in the pond. As you begin to heal, you become that pebble in the pond, and the concentric circles of love and healing go out from you. And just think, as you raise your vibration, as you raise your frequency, literally everyone you come into contact with benefits from this. The barista at your favorite coffee shop, the person that you're letting in line in front of you, maybe at the grocery store, the grocery clerk, the way that you're just interacting with the world becomes different and becomes changed. We've all heard Gandhi's expression, be the change you want to see in the world. And there never has been a more important time than now to start taking responsibility for ourselves and for us to really make sure that we're not stepping into overwhelm, that we're not taking on a victim stance. We can't control the outer circumstances of our lives. We can control our inner response and reaction to them. We can cultivate this place of stillness, of health, of taking care of ourselves in a way that we can ride the rapids of whatever it is that's coming down the stream of our lives. And then we're actually able to float. We're not fighting upstream. We're not fighting the current. We're actually able to flow with it. And so I'm hoping that this is helpful for you as you begin to look at, what can I do to enhance my life? What can I do to really start feeling a greater sense of joy, a greater sense of resiliency? How can I empower myself? We always tend to look, it seems, especially maybe in our culture, to something outside of ourselves to make ourselves feel good. We're looking at the outside world. We have these programs for happiness. And so we think something else can make us happy. And truthfully, this is an inside job. So bringing yourself to a greater relationship with yourself, befriending yourself, learning to really love yourself and show up for yourself, you can be the change that you are seeking to see in the world. You can be the tipping point that helps bring more health, healing, and wholeness to this world. It starts with you. I'm Stephanie James. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you for joining me on my mission to light people up and change lives around the world. I hope today's conversation inspires you to step up, go after the life of your dreams, and be who you want to be. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go to stellarlifepodcast.com for show notes, transcripts, and other cool stuff. And please subscribe, review, and help spread the word by sharing us on Facebook and Twitter. Have a lovely day, and I'll catch you on the next episode.